I walked through a county courthouse square. On a park bench, an old man was sitting there. I said, "Your old courthouse is kind of run down." He said, "No, it'll do for our little town." I said, "Your old flagpole is leaned a little bit, and that's a ragged old flag you got hanging on it." He said, "Have a seat," and I sat down. "Is this the first time you've been to our little town?" I said, "I think it is." He said, "I don't like to brag, but we're kind of proud of that ragged old flag. You see, we got a little hole in that flag there when Washington took it across the Delaware. And it got powder burned the night that Francis Scott Key sat watching it write and say, 'Can you see?' And it got a bad rip in New Orleans with Pakenham and Jackson tugging at its seams. And it almost fell at the Alamo beside the Texas flag, but she waved on though. She got cut with a sword at Chancellorsville, and she got cut again at Shiloh Hill. There was Robert E. Lee, Beauregard, and Bragg, and the south wind blew hard on that ragged old flag. On Flanders Field in World War I, she got a big hole from a Bertha gun. She turned blood red in World War II. She hung limp and low a time or two. She was in Korea, Vietnam. She went where she was sent by her Uncle Sam. She waved from our ships upon the briny foam, and now they've about quit waving back here at home. In her own good land here, she's been abused. She's been burned, dishonored, denied, and refused. And the government for which she stands is scandalized throughout the land. And she's getting threadbare and she's wearing thin, but she's in good shape for the shape she's in. 'Cause she's been through the fire before, and I believe she can take a whole lot more. So we raise her up every morning, we take her down every night, we don't let her touch the ground, and we fold her up right. On second thought, I do like to brag, 'cause I'm mighty proud of that ragged old flag.
The old hometown looks the same as I step down from the train, and there to meet me is my mama and my papa. Down the road I look, and there runs Mary, hair of gold and lips like cherries. It's good to touch the green, green grass of home. Everybody sing. Yes, they'll all come to meet me, arms reaching, smiling sweetly. It's good to touch the green, green grass of home. The old house is still standing, though the paint is cracked and dry. And there's that old oak tree that I used to play on. Down the lane I walk with my sweet Mary, hair of gold and lips like cherries. It's good to touch the green, green grass of home. Then I awaken, I look around me at the four gray walls that surround me. and I realized, yeah, I was only dreaming. For there's a garden, there's a sad old pathway. Arm in arm, we'll walk at daybreak. Once again, I'll touch the green, green grass of home. Yes, they'll all come to see me in the shade of the old oak tree as they lay me 'neath the green, green grass of home. It's an old one, but a good one.
Standing on the mountain looking down on the city, the way I feel is a doggone pity. Teardrops are falling down the mountainside. Many times I've been here and many times I cried. We used to be so happy when we were in love, high on a mountain of love. Night after night I've been standing here alone, weeping my heart out the cold gray dawn, praying that you're lonely and you come here too, hoping just by chance that I get a glimpse of you. Trying hard to find you somewhere, love, high on a mountain of love. The mountain of love, the mountain of love. You should be ashamed. We used to be a mountain of love, but you just changed your name. Way down below there's a 500,000 people. Somewhere there's a church and a big tall steeple. Inside the church there's an altar filled with flowers. Wedding bells are ringing and it should have been ours. That's why I'm so lonely. Our dreams gone above, high on a mountain of love. Mountain of love, the mountain of love. You should be ashamed. We used to be a mountain of love, but you just changed your name. Way down below there's a 500,000 people. Somewhere there's a church and a big tall steeple. Inside the church there's an altar filled with flowers. Wedding bells are ringing and it should have been ours. That's why I'm so lonely. Our dreams gone above, high on a mountain of love, high on a mountain of love.
This country's seen some hard times. Lord knows she's deep in debt. She's coming through another depression, and for some it ain't over yet. We've all been divided, playing our own selfish games. Why's it always take the hard times to get people back together again? But I believe in America. I believe in America. One nation under God, still proud and strong. I believe in America. I'm proud to be in America. Though I know in America down for long. Now if you read the papers or listen to the news these days, sometimes it don't look like there's a much hope left for the good old USA. This country, she ain't perfect, oh, but thank God she's still free. And she's gonna make her comeback, yes sir, just you wait and see. And I believe in America, I believe in America, one nation under God, still proud and strong. I believe in America, I'm proud to be in America, though I know in America we got our rights and wrongs, but I don't believe you can keep America down for long. I believe in America, oh I believe in America, one nation under God, still proud and strong. I believe in America, I'm proud to be in America, though I know in America we got our rights and wrongs, but I don't believe you can keep America down for long.
Bought a beautiful diamond ring, offered it to the sweetest thing I know, and she said she would take it. Started making some wedding plans. She looked at me and she took my hand and said, "Are you sure we can make it?" I said, "My granddad's still in love with my grandma." I said, "My dad still thinks my mom's the sweetest thing he ever saw." I come from a long line of love. When the times get hard, we don't give up. Forever's in my heart and in my blood. You see, I come from a long line of love. Years went by and we had a son. Now he thinks that he's found someone for him, and they're planning a wedding. He called me up on the phone today just to see what I had to say to him. Did I think he was ready? I said, "Oh, what his grandfather used to say to me. It's been handed down for ages, it runs in the family. You come from a long line of love. When the times get hard, we don't give up. Forever's in your heart and in your blood. Son, you come from a long line of love. We come from a long line of love.
For all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA. Well, there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. Proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
I hear people talking bad about the way they have to live here in this country, harping on the wars we fight, griping about the way things ought to be. I don't mind them switching sides and standing up for things they believe in. When they're running down our country, man, they're walking on the fighting side of me. They're walking on the fighting side of me, running down a way of life our fighting men have fought and died to keep. If you don't love it, leave it. Let this song that I'm singing be a warning. When you're running down our country horse, you walking on the fighting side of me. some squirrely guy who claims that he just don't believe in fighting. And I wonder just how long the rest of us can count on being free. They love our milk and honey, but they preach about some other way of living. And when they're running down our country, man, they're walking on the fighting side of me. They're walking on the fighting side of me. Running down the way of life our fighting men have fought and died to keep. If you don't love it, leave it. Let this song that I'm singing be a warning. When you're running down our country, man, you're walking on the fighting side of me. You're walking on the fighting side of me. Running down the way of life our fighting men have fought and died to keep. If you don't love it, leave it. Let this song that I'm singing be a warning. When you're running down our country horse, you walking on the fighting side of me.
Good morning, yesterday. You wake up and time has slipped away, and suddenly it's hard to find the memories you left behind. Remember, do you remember the laughter and the tears, the shadows of misty yesteryears, the good times and the bad you've seen, and all the others in between? Remember, do you remember the times of your life? Do you remember? Reach back for the joy and the sorrow, put them away in your mind, for memories are time that you borrow to spend when you get to tomorrow. Here comes the setting sun. The seasons are passing one by one, so gather moments while you may collect the dreams you dreamed today. Remember, will you remember the times of your life? While you may collect the dreams you dreamed today. Remember, will you remember the times of your life? Of your life, of your times of your